disassembly of the Faber-Castell E-Motion croco is relatively straightforward. Unscrew the cap and take off the barrel. If necessary, post cap and barrel for secure storage. I'll get them out of the way because of that glint. In principle, this converter can be disassembled by taking off the metal ring and then breaking the seal between the actual piston, the housing unit and the reservoir. It can be done by wriggling this around, but in my experience this will ruin the seal. If absolutely necessary, this is the way to do it, but it will never be as airtight as it was before you did this, probably due to some slight misalignment. This plastic thing will lose its shape just a little bit. Apply silicone grease right there around the seal and on the threads, and put the whole thing back together. Apply some silicone grease there to make the seal as good as you can, and slide the metal ring in place, which will then be easier because of the silicone grease. Then take the section. It should unscrew relatively easily. Put the nib and feed on your finger. Put the nib on your finger, put your thumb in the feed, and unscrew the section. The nib and feed are friction fit into the nib collar, so if you are absolutely unable to unscrew anything, you can always leave the nib collar in the section and pull the nib and feed out straightly. Notice the little cutout right there in the nib collar. This is for air replacement and should be aligned with the underside of the feed, which has an air replacement channel. In other words, this would be incorrect alignment, whereas this would be correct. Having it off a micrometer will really not make a big difference. You can then slide the nib back in, take your section, screw it back in place, and notice that this may get the nib and feed dislodged a bit. Then put in the converter, screw the barrel back in place, cap the pen, and you're done and ready for a bit of haggis.